morning, everybody. This is Raising Stars to Rise Up. We're just adjusting the camera a little bit here. Thank you for your patience. I'm very excited. Tama was so sweet to buy me a little tripod for my videoing. So this is the christening of my brand new device. It's very exciting. And thank you so much for being here. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome. Hey, Brenda. Hope you're feeling better, sweetheart. Hi, Alice. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Tama, my ever amazing supporting partner. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So good morning, everyone. Cheers. I hope you are enjoying your morning Ninja Red. I'm going to give just another few seconds for people to get on. Hi, Taryn. Good morning. So glad that you're here. If you are already a Young Living Essential Oiler, hey, Lee. Hi, girlfriend. Go ahead and oil up. Oils support all of the body systems, including supporting the brain. So why not be supported as we take in some information? If you, like me, are here in the Hudson River Valley in New York, happy snow day. I hope you're enjoying the snow. And let's dive right in. So raising stars to rise up. I've been really excited about teaching this class for weeks. Thank you all for the extra week while I was getting better last week. Raising stars to rise up. This is a really, I hope, going to be a really juicy class with all kinds of information to help empower you, whether you are brand new to Young Living, you just got your starter kit, you're loving the oils, you're curious maybe about getting your oils for free, or maybe building a large business like I'm doing, or maybe you've been in the business for a long time, but you're plateaued, or you're feeling stuck, or you're just wanting a little more support in really getting momentum, especially in the realm of duplication. So I want to start by just telling you a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know me, I am Tanya Roby. I have been building a business with Young Living for about 4 years. And I am a gold rising, so that means that I am a silver leader right now, and that my extraordinary team, I love you all. It's so great to see so many of you on the call this morning. We are rapidly building to gold. We are on track to hit gold this season, and I couldn't be more joyful about that. Hey, Jesper. Oh, my goodness. Hello, dear friend. I miss you. Hope things in Denmark are good. So a little bit about my story real quick before we get into the meat of what it means to raise a star. I joined Young Living about 4 years ago, really by surprise. My current sweetheart of 5 years, Tama Jackson, I met him at a fair, and he put a drop of joy on me, and it was powerful. I was hooked on essential oils from the beginning. But I think, like many of us, for me, getting started in the Young Living lifestyle and the essential oil lifestyle, and definitely starting the business, was something that came slowly and clunkily over time. When I started using Young Living, I knew immediately right away, okay, these oils make me feel better, especially in my emotional body. I was going through all kinds of really intense transitions at that time, and I was just astounded at how supported I felt. So that was a no-brainer. But at the time, I was working like 5 gigs. I'd left the 9-to-5 world to become an entrepreneur. I was working on writing my first novel. I was launching my editing practice. I was managing yoga studios. I was trying to get my yoga career off the ground. I was managing real estate in Philadelphia. I was so busy and frankly super broke. I had huge student loan debt. I had credit card debt from the time when I was in college, and I was really, really struggling. Hi, Kim, sweetheart. Oh my goodness, love you. I was really, really struggling. And when Tama first introduced me to the oils, I was a quick yes to, I need these products in my life. But then my big questions that hit later or quickly after was, wait, how am I going to afford this? I'm a starving artist and a spiritual teacher. And secondly, Tama kind of, offered for me. He was like, wow, we're just getting to know each other, and it's kind of hard to date you because you're working all the time. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you had a little more time freedom? And I was like, I'll have that in 30 years once I'm out of debt. Get out of my way. I got to go to work. I just didn't even have time. And then I am so grateful because over the years, kicking and screaming, Tama took me to my first Young Living convention, and I got a taste of the bigger picture of what Young Living really is. It's not just a store that sells essential oils. It is one of the most influential, powerful companies and organizations changing the world today. between the Young Living Foundation. Recent fact that was released on Saturday was that last year in 2017 alone, we raised over $6 million to go directly into the on-the-ground projects that we have happening in countries all around the globe, including here in the United States, with relief efforts from all of the weather we've been experiencing to projects in Nepal and Ecuador and Uganda, and it's a phenomenal. Not to mention that the farms that grow our plants for our oils are sustainable organic farms that are multiplying on 5 continents around the globe simultaneously. That is exciting to me. And so it took me years, because I am stubborn and I was so busy, to get the bigger picture of what Young Living really is, how to use the products in a way that really uplifted and boomed my body systems, and more importantly, how I could leverage Young Living's business building opportunity, the opportunity to partner with this extraordinary company in outreach and education to build a residual monthly income that would free me, that has freed me from what used to be 70-hour work weeks. So I'm so grateful. And what this video is really intended to do is to number one, empower you if you're brand new, and how do I start on me, right? Maybe you just got started and you enrolled with somebody who's been working with the oils for many, many years, and it seems to you like they know everything, and you're kind of like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't even know how to use these for myself yet. So number one is how do you yourself get started strong? Because in this business, like in life, if we want to support other people, if we want to help change the world, I believe that change always starts inside of us. So how do I be a better me, so that I can then share with others strategies and techniques and tools so that they too can grow to the better variation of themselves, of who they want to become. Raising stars, what does that even mean? Okay, in network marketing with Young Living, instead of earning promotions, we increase in rank. Okay, and as you grow in rank, so too does your impact in the world and also your paycheck. So the first rank in Young Living is to achieve the rank of star. And that means that you and everyone that you've helped educate about the essential oils, together in 1 month, all of your purchases together add up to 500 PV, or product volume, which is usually about the same price as the dollars. So raising stars might seem like, oh, that shouldn't be too hard. 500 isn't a huge number, but I would argue, as again, a gold rising, that actually helping yourself and somebody to become a star might be the hardest part. And if we can get really, 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 really skillful at raising stars and teaching others how to raise stars, what that guarantees is duplication. Okay, Young Living network marketing is different than a day job because you're not working for a salary. In Young Living, you are building an asset. An asset means something that puts money in your pocket. That's a quick definition of asset, something that puts money in your pocket. A residual income is something I knew nothing about until I was in my early 30s. The only thing I knew was how to exchange my time, my hours, my life force for dollars. That was the only thing I knew. My goal was, how can I make more money per hour so that I can be less broke? Network marketing has taught me about leverage. Leverage is so important. Leverage means that you join forces in a common dream. And then when many, many people are working together for that same dream, and everybody rises together from it. And so duplication is, how do I help to teach myself and others to feel better and feel so much better that I share it with my friends and family. To become a star often means that I choose to do my own purchasing for the month with products, and hopefully I'm going to leverage one of the amazing promos. Every single month Young Living gives away tons of free oils, so maybe leveraging one of the promos. And then if I'm just starting, probably it's going to be like my first were my sister and my mom. I love them so much, and when I saw how much my life was changing, I wanted them to experience the oils before I even knew about the business. My first paycheck came as a surprise to me because I had shared the oils because they're awesome. Taught my mom about youngliving.com, this amazing online health food store. And then when she bought a starter kit the next month, I had a paycheck in the mail and was like, what? Back then every single dollar really mattered in me being able to afford groceries and things like that. So that made a really big difference. All right, so how do we do this? I'm going to talk about 4 points today. 4 points. The first one is... I want to talk about when you first get started. I think that most people are in this question of like, oh my gosh, I just got started. Now I'm supposed to be a teacher and be sharing, but I don't know anything. So I want to speak into that. The second thing that I want to talk about is this reality that right now essential oils are booming around the world. You know, here in the United States, with our lack of regulations, you know, what was grandfathered in 1976 that allows us to have so many harmful chemicals in our over-the-counter products like dish soap and household cleaners and shampoos and conditioners. It's scary, and I think a lot of us are waking up to, you know, why do I have all of these chronic headaches or memory issues or chronic pain? And finally, scientists are starting to say, hey, you know why? Because it's been allowed for us to have all this chemical-laden crap going on to our body. There are no warnings on, you know, our baby's baby powder that says, you know what, there's actually a carcinogen mixed in here because of what happened in 1976, and you can read more about this in Game Plan. There aren't any regulations. So essential oils are an amazing way to replace that toxic stuff and be able to have totally pure ways and products that you can put on your body that are not harmful. So I want to talk about the fact that we have so much out there, so many resources, and that as humans, we're really distractible. So one of the key ways that we can really help people get started strong is to narrow the focus, right? So I want to talk about what are specific things that stars really need to learn. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about shadowing and the value of working together with your people that are first getting started. And lastly, I'm going to hone in more specifically on a couple tips for business builders and how do you really help somebody who's just getting started in the business have a lot of success just as they begin. Hey Yvonne, I'm glad you made it. Welcome. Okay, so point one, most people start with a lot of questions. What am I going to say? So in all of the coaching I've been doing for years, so many people get started, they say, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I want to share it with my friends, and then they go to talk to their friend about it and they like freak out. What am I going to say? What if this person thinks I'm a salesperson? And ew, I don't want my friends to hate me. And it's like that ease of, wow, I love this shirt. You know, I just got this shirt, it's on sale at whatever store. That thing that we humans naturally do all the time, we refer people to what we love. It's like we freak out because there's money attached. Okay, so the first piece that I want to empower you as you first get started is that it's really okay to learn as you go. You don't have to know everything. And that the primary switch, so please write this down. Please be taking notes. Please be taking notes. It's going to help your brain learn better. So point number one, change your mindset. Change the way you're thinking. Okay, if your primary question alive in you as you get started is, what do I need to know so that I can teach other people all this great stuff about Young Living? You gotta learn about the farms. I gotta learn about Gary Young. I gotta learn what makes us different. I gotta understand seed to steel. Yes and no. Okay, what we need to learn how to do is how to stop talking and ask questions. Okay, when you choose to partner with Young Living and help be a part of this team of outreach and education about wellness, purpose, and abundance, we start as consultants. Okay, most people come to Young Living because they're suffering in some way, whether that's in their physical body, in their heart, in their sense of disconnection from their purpose, or maybe it's somebody they love, a child or a parent who's struggling. Most of us, right, as humans, unfortunately, the one thing we all have in common is that we all suffer. And the reason I feel so grateful to have said yes to Young Living is because of the way that Young Living has solutions for everything. It's unbelievable. Whether it's supporting your body systems or supporting your financial well-being, there are solutions for everybody. And what people need more than anything, number one, is to be heard. We live in such a fast-paced society, especially here in the United States, that most people don't even get to share their day. You know, or really be, look, you know, how many busy mamas do you know who are so busy taking care of other people that they can't even remember the last time they got to say, well, how am I? Well, thanks for asking. Actually, this is what's going on in my life. Right? Partnering with Young Living is caring for people. When I was working 70 hours a week to survive, I cut out everybody, including my family. I remember when my mom, you know, was working on repainting the outside of their house, and she asked if I could please come down and help her. You know, it's like balancing on ladders. Mom and Dad aren't as young as they used to be. And I had booked every single hour. And if I didn't work every single one of those hours, I wasn't going to make my expenses, my student loans, my minimal rent, my groceries. And I had to say no to my mom. And that was when I said yes to the business. Because I wanted to have the time to show up to people I care about. And now my life has changed so much. Young Living pays me, pays all of us to be better humans, to show up to people because it matters. Because it matters. We are so hooked on social media, that place of human contact is dissolving. And I think that network marketing has the means to help reconnect us as humans. So the primary question is not, what do I need to learn and memorize, and how can I do all of this stuff so that I can be some great expert? No. It's how do I learn to listen to people and ask questions and care? Okay, so when you're sharing for the first time, ask. Share an oil. Our oils are so potent. People generally have an instant experience of them. That's their body wisdom communicating with them. Help them notice that and ask them questions about it. Ask into their lives, okay? So get more curious about what people are yearning for, where people are suffering, what people are looking for, and don't worry so much about knowing everything. When I recommend a good restaurant to a friend that I just discovered, I'm not sitting there and interviewing the cooks and researching what kind of research they did to establish their menu. I'm sharing my story, and write that down. The most powerful thing we have is our stories, our personal experiences of things. I'm sharing my story. Oh my gosh, the steak was incredible, melted in my mouth. I'm describing my experience, and then I'm just saying, hey, the new restaurant is located here in Kingston. Right? It's the same thing. We just refer people to this amazing online health food store. Okay, then they can discover for themselves. Young Living's website's incredible. Right? So number one, stop fretting about all the things that you need to learn and shut up and ask questions. Care about people. Take note of their lives. Find out what's going on. And then set up another opportunity to get together. You might not even talk about essential oils at the beginning. You might just care into people's lives because that's really important. And whether or not they choose to get started with Young Living in the end doesn't really matter. At least we're reaching into people's lives, and that's part of making a difference. That's part of what I signed up for, okay? So that's number one. Number two, how about all these resources? You know, the second question that I get so often from so many people just starting with their businesses is like, okay, I got this question. What tool do I send? Okay, how do I answer this question? What do I do? How do I answer this question? And then, you know, we are so blessed, you know, those that were tuned in over the holidays, the 12 Days of Diamond, all of the phenomenal Diamond and above leaders who are creating videos and classes. Somebody could sit down and watch videos and read books for the rest of their life and still be left with a vat of information to learn. Gary Young is still learning every single day. There's so much out there. Okay, and here's the psychology of humans. Here's the tricky part about this reality that we work with humans. Okay, we are super distractible. True or false? We're super distractible. How many times you've said, oh, I'm going to sit down and do this. And then before you know it, you're in your kitchen making a snack and you forgot what you were even headed towards. We're very distractible. Okay. Also, for most of us, starting a new business, any kind of business, is scary. It brings stuff up, you know? And so what do we tend to do as humans when things get scary? We avoid. Okay? And so you have those two things, distractibility and avoidance. And if you send your person off, go Google Young Living Essential Oils and learn what you need to know, they could get lost in cyberspace. And when we're afraid, we get distracted, and it's safer and easier to be a student than it is to get out in the field and start to practice. Most professions, we have to get certifications and study and have experiences before we can start our profession. And in network marketing, you buy a starter kit and you're off and running. Okay, now it's really important to train, because it's those who go off and run without training that give this profession a bad rap. Please don't do that. It's a profession. If you wanted someone to build your house, would you get somebody who was a trained contractor or somebody that was trying to figure out how to build a house? If you needed surgery, do you want a surgeon who's experimenting on your body or who's had a lot of practice? Training really, really, really matters. So it's important that you train, but it's also important you get started before you become an expert. Why? Because we earn as we learn. We learn as we're going. So how can we support new people in getting strong? Help them to narrow their focus. Okay, when you're just becoming a star, you don't need to know everything about the chemical constituents of essential oils. You don't need to know Gary Young's full life story. You don't need to know where all of our farms are located. You don't need to know about all of our country, all the different countries and projects that we're partnered with the Young Living Foundation. You don't need to know that stuff. It's great for you to learn that stuff, but focus, so that you can grow your skillfulness, advance in rank, raise your paycheck, so that you can afford, whether that's financially or in time freedom, you can have the time to do as much research and learn all the bits and pieces that you want, okay? So, what the heck does should a star focus on? Please write these down. Here is your focus. Now, again, this might be for you personally if you're just getting started, or if you are working with somebody who is just getting started. Welcome, Lucy. Nice to see you. If you are working with somebody who's just getting started, these are the things that you want to partner with them and ask yourself, do they have clarity of this? Okay? Raising stars is an art and a challenge because we are teaching people about things, listen, that they don't know they don't know. Okay, it's one thing to know I don't know something. I know that I don't know how to speak Chinese. Okay, so I can choose how big of a desire do I have to learn to speak Chinese and then opt in or out. Okay, when there's something I don't know, I can't have a desire to learn it yet. I didn't know that I didn't know what network marketing is. I'd had a cousin that invested like 70 grand in filling up a garage with a bunch of product that she never moved back in the 80s. And that was all I knew of network marketing. I thought it was a pyramid scheme and that it didn't work and that it stole from you. I didn't know that I didn't know that that was not true. Right? That may have been one person's experience with a company 20 years ago, and I don't know what kind of training she had. I don't know what kind of leadership she had. I don't even know the quality of the products. I know that Young Living has the most superior products in the world, that we have a phenomenal team full of support and accountability, and that building this business is up to me and my showing upness to it, but I didn't know that. All right, teaching a star is about teaching someone something that is beyond their realm of awareness. And that can be hard because how do you get someone excited about something that they've never even considered before? Right? So we have to keep that in mind. How do I meet people where they're at? Right? Okay, so what are the key things that somebody who's just getting started needs to focus on? Everything else matters, but it's not urgent. Become a star and then think about it. Okay? So first of all, one question. What are essential oils and how can I use them? What are essential oils and how can I use them? So if that's a question that's still alive in you, my team, we do box opening parties. That's an orientation. When you get your starter kit, the person that enrolled you or the leadership upline from that enrolled you will give you a box opening. That's a private, or even better, you get a couple of your friends to come over and learn with you, tutorial where you go through your starter kit and uncap all the oils or open up all the different Thieves products or the Ninja Red, whatever kit you chose. And you get to talk to someone who's been using the products longer than you. Maybe that's a couple weeks, maybe it's a couple years, and learn and experience. Okay, a box opening is very similar to a 101. And our team uses Sarah Harnish. Amazing. Love you, Sarah. Thank you for your work in this profession. She wrote an amazing book called Game Plan. And Game Plan, at the end, has an amazing appendix. And her 101, which is a 4-page lesson plan, breaks down every basic that you need to understand, that you can read it in under 10 minutes, about essential oils. Okay, so help your person understand what essential oils are and how I can use them. Okay, second question, what's safe? Most people, I started with oils and was terrified. First of all, I thought they were expensive. Second of all, I didn't know if I could have an allergy to them, or if they would, do all kinds of weird things. I knew nothing about essential oils. I was afraid. Okay, I think that there's a lot of fear in American culture. Okay, and with the way that Western medicine works and all of the side effects that are really, I believe, to be a bit of a plague right now, the residual side effects affecting so many people on regular medications. Okay, so people rightfully are fearful. How do I work with something? Okay, so our job is to explain, number one, how this basic fact that, essential oils are not regulated in the United States. Again, this is completely explained in Sarah Harnish's 101 at the back of Game Plan. And that the danger in essential oils comes from using essential oils that have been distilled from plants that were exposed to harmful pesticides and herbicides. That stuff comes through in the distillation process, which is then a potent chemical you're putting right on your skin. Of course, that's not safe, right? Also, other essential oil companies cut costs by diluting or trying to dilute to make safe because of the chemicals that are in there, and add in all other kinds of crap. Right now, you only need 5% pure essential oil on a bottle for it to be labeled 100% pure. That's scary, okay? But with Young Living, we take the danger out. Young Living has all of its own farms, so that plants never, ever are exposed to any kind of harmful pesticides or chemicals, and therefore, they're safe. They're safe. They're 100% pure, so we need to help people understand why Young Living is different. Yeah, you're working with a completely clean frequency that's still alive, that's here to boon your body systems. And so it is safe to use them. And this is how, and again, all of that is laid out in the 101. All of that can be covered in a box opening. If you reach Upline to your enroller, you haven't had a box opening yet, reach Upline. That's if you log into your Young Living account and look on your dashboard, it's going to tell you who your Upline leadership is. And if it isn't the person who enrolled you, reach out to that person and say, hey, I want to know more. Would you teach me? Okay. Another question that I think stars should really focus on is how can I afford it if I like it? That was huge for me. I was on such a tight budget. Okay, and so leaders, you want to educate yourself, number one, about the difference between wholesale and retail, right? Our starter kits give us 24% off for life, and they're half off, right? That's pretty amazing. They're half off their value, and they give you 24% off for life. You want to make sure that you understand Essential Rewards. Essential Rewards is the most extraordinary program for happy customers. Yes, it's a bonus for business builders, but Essential Rewards is for every happy customer. Essential Rewards is amazing. It saves you money on shipping. It gives you points back on every dollar that you spend so that you can get cash those in for free products. And it gives you additional free oils. Essential Rewards is awesome. Learn about Essential Rewards. Study it. Fall in love with it, okay? The third thing that you should really know about if you're wanting to save money is the promos. Every single month, Young Living gives away close to $200, sometimes over $200 worth of free oils oils and products every single month with different qualifying orders. You can read about that on Member News in the virtual office. So those are three things I want to make sure people understand so that they, if they're on a tight budget like I was, can get the value of Young Living, right? To get the purity of products. Please never spend under $10 on an essential oil. I promise you it's not pure if you are. Right? Why does an organic juiced juice cost $9 when Tropicana costs $2? Because they're a completely different nutritional value. That is true for essential oils too, and even more important. Okay. Another thing that stars should really learn about is what is Young Living? Why are we different? I think I already touched on that, but you want to direct people to Young Living's foundation, so they have a sense of the kind of impact, the bigger vision of who we are and what we do in the world. You want to make sure people watch the Seed to Seal videos, seed2seal.com. That's what makes us different. That's what makes us pure. That's what makes us the best in the world, hands down. Okay, 4 more things for stars to focus on. Okay, the quick referral link. Okay, again, before you have to know anything. We as humans share what we love, and often our people say, cool, you feel better, I want to feel better too. How do I get that? Okay, in Young Living's virtual office under Member Resources, if you click on Member Resources on the blue side, on the left column, that blue column, you click on Member Resources, you don't even have to go into it. Right away, the last thing, on the fourth thing down, it's called, what is it labeled as? Quick Link Referral. Or it's called Link Builder, excuse me. Click Link Builder, your member number's already there, and then you can just text that link to a friend. Oh, you want to feel good like me? Get the starter kit. It gives you 24% off. Here's my link. Thank you so much. Isn't it cool that Young Living pays people like you and me instead of multi-million-dollar marketing companies to share with our friends? It is a service to humankind. So many people are struggling financially today. Okay? And Young Living is saying, you know what? We want to pay you for sharing your stories instead of some big marketing company who could put up billboards and make commercials for us, right? So help people know, number one, if you share with somebody, you're going to get paid. That's pretty cool. Most people like money or like money coming in. Okay. And then show them the quick link referral so they're not referring their friends, and then their friends are just randomly going to Young Living and enrolling and not being connected to this team that can help support and educate them. Okay. Another thing, another question people have is, what kind of people use essential oils? Isn't that woo-woo stuff, snake oil? That's changing culturally. When I started 4 years ago, it was kind of a freaky snake oil thing. Now they are already so much more popular in mainstream culture. But, what kind of people use essential oils? It really helps to pull people into our community. The first time I went to a Young Living meeting, I looked around the room and was like, oh, these are people I like. These people kind of seem like me. Maybe this isn't a weird thing. Maybe this is actually the wave of the future. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be learning about it now. So how can you plug people into other radiant, smart, powerful people like you, like us, that might be on their knees praying for this kind of opportunity? So plugging people in, whether you have a private Facebook group, whether you're plugging them into the larger teams groups, plug them into community, inviting them to large events, inviting them to small events, coming over to your house, meeting your friends. People need community. Help support them in that. Okay, last couple things for stars. What kind of people, how do I use the website? Make sure that when if somebody enrolled with a paper application, or you helped to enroll them online, make sure that you spend a few minutes with them teaching them about Young Living's website. There's so many places to save money. There's so many places to get free education from Young Living's virtual office. Take a few minutes to go through that with folks, or to go through it yourself. And again, in Sarah Harnish's game plan, there's a whole chapter in great detail with pictures that lays out the virtual office. There are also several videos online that other leaders have created. Allow yourself to be educated about how awesome the virtual office is. Okay. All right, that's it so as far as becoming a star yourself, getting started, and helping others in that realm of happy customer. Okay, those are really the key questions. What are essential oils and how can I use them? Are they safe and why are they safe? How can I afford it? What is Young Living? What makes Young Living different? There are tons of essential oils out there helping people to understand why Young Living is different. The referral link. Right? Understanding that basic concept that they can make money by helping educate people about this extraordinary thing. Introducing them to community. What other people are Oilers? Little information about how to use the website, especially understanding the difference between placing a quick order and an essential rewards order, for example. And which oils do I use for what? There's so many amazing reference guides out there. You don't need to be an expert. You need a good reference guide, okay? And ask your team members. There's so many amazing ones. There's a couple apps that I particularly love, okay? I do not have a timepiece. So, Tama, maybe you could tell me what time it is.
8:50.
Thank you. 8:50. Beautiful. Okay, so we need to wrap up here. Lastly then, to shadow, last piece, two last little nuggets. The value of shadowing and the value of again, working with really empowering builders. So these last two pieces very quickly. Shadowing. In most jobs you get started and your first couple days on the job, you shadow somebody. You walk around the office, you learn where all of the office things are. You get to meet people who are in your job, in your career. You get to do the beginning of your work with somebody sitting beside you, okay? In network marketing, we create our own hours and we build our work in between things, okay? It's not like, okay, I'll meet you at the office at 8 o'clock and I'll show you what to do, okay? Shadowing, creating opportunities for you new people to work beside you and see what you do, see what this business is, because for most people, for me, it was a very foreign concept. So what does that mean? It means doing three-way calls. Right? Talking on the phone and getting your leader to be on the phone with you when you're training somebody. Co-teaching classes. When someone's just gotten started, they're probably not ready to teach a class. But they might be ready to invite their 3 friends over to learn from you. So you go to their living room and teach the class with their people and then show them how to teach their people about how they too can get 24% off with Young Living. Create as many opportunities to shadow, for your people to shadow. And if you're in the learning, ask, hey, can I come to your class and just watch you? Hey, could I eavesdrop on one of your phone calls? Hey, how can I learn from you? Be coachable. Be coachable. Good morning, Jeffrey Lewis. Great to see you. Okay, so create opportunities to shadow and be a hungry apprentice. It took me a long time to get my business off the ground because I was not coachable. I was a know-it-all. I had experience as an entrepreneur, and I was not coachable, and it slowed me down by years. Be coachable and shadow people who know more about what they're doing than you do at this stage, okay? And then the last piece, the fourth nugget, and this is so huge, it's about raising stars who know from the time that they get their starter kit, or who know from this moment, I want to build a business. I am clear on that. I have looked at this whole working part-time from home thing. I've thought about being my own boss, and I want to build a business. Okay? Maybe it's a $2,000 a month business. Maybe it's a $100,000 a month business. Both of those options are possible with Young Living. But when you are working with someone that has said, yes, I see this as a way out of the life that I've been living. I want this. How do we get them started? Okay? This is my advice. Be transparent, number one. Be transparent. Somebody is starting a business. That's a really big deal. So from the beginning, treat them as a CEO. A business builder is an entrepreneur starting their own business, who are blessed to get to study with you. Okay? And so how do you get somebody started strong? Well, you treat them like a CEO. A CEO should be thinking, what is my dream? What am I building? How much money can I make? Okay, when someone says they want to start a business, I pull out the income disclosure form. And I say, these are our monthly incomes. How much money do you want to make? What is your goal? Okay, I talk to them from the beginning about training, about how it's so valuable to train, and that the sooner you train, the faster your business is going to grow. And then we put on the calendar ways that they can train with me, co-teaching classes, whether that's live or on a conference call or on Facebook Live or on a Zoom call. So I know from the beginning, okay, they're going to get a little practice with me. And then we're also going to set up calendar time on the calendar where they're going to go ahead and teach those classes with the lesson plan that I'm sharing that I took from Sarah Harnish's game plan book, and so that they're empowered to keep going. Okay, so when you're getting a business builder strong, be transparent, talk about the business. And here's the third piece, and I'm just finishing writing a piece on this. I'll be posting it in the Business Spot this week, is really helping people understand the mindset. Saying yes to building a business with Young Living is building an asset. It is not a day job. It is building an asset. And I'll tell you what, when I said yes to the business, I didn't know what an asset is. Okay, Manisha Thakur, an incredible financial literacy teacher, she defines asset as something that puts money in your pocket. Something that puts money in your pocket. Okay, so another example of an asset that people might be able to relate to more is owning a home that you rent out as or an apartment building, right? So when I bought my apartment building, I invested a ton of money to buy that building, right? But then I'm charging rent in these 2 apartments, and I'm collecting rent every single month. My asset is whatever minus my expenses, the profit that I'm making, right? It's something that you invest up front, and then it pays you for a lifetime. So when you're starting a business with Young Living, you're building something out of nothing. You're building an education team that's going to go out into the world and help lift people up with education and outreach about Young Living essential oils. Okay? So that takes time to build. And if they're thinking as a day jobber, oh, I showed up to work, where's my paycheck? I put in 3 hours, shouldn't I make X dollars? They're thinking as an employee. And so the first thing that we have to help people understand when they say yes to this business is that they are not saying yes to a job. They're saying yes to building an asset. They're saying yes to something that has the potential to become a legacy income. That means income, monthly residual income that you can will to your family. Okay? Even if it takes me 10 years, it's not going to take that long, but even if it took me 10 years to build a $15,000 or $20,000 monthly income, and I were to have children, okay, let's say that I had 3 kiddos, and I only got to the place, it's a huge number of $15,000 to me, it's still a huge number, $15,000 monthly. What do you think it's going to feel like to know that my 3 kids could be willed $5,000 a month for the rest of their life? That is very different than day job and a 401k. So is it hard? Yeah, it's work. It's absolutely work, okay? But it is a completely different package that you are signing up for. Okay, building an asset is different than building a job. And if people are going in with a day job mindset, they're going to get disheartened when their first check is $250 and they can't understand why when they taught 5 classes. That's all that they made. They don't understand yet that they're winning, because with exponential growth, that's going to be a huge paycheck in a matter of a shorter period of time, but that you're building an asset, something that will pay you later. So really helping people to understand that. There are great tools that help explain that. The Rise of the Entrepreneur is a DVD by Eric Worre that I highly recommend. Jehan Thomas has a great video called How Ordinary People Create Extraordinary Wealth. Those are 2 of my favorites. Adam Green has some great stuff. There's so much great stuff out there. The 4-Year Career. Understand the mindset of what you're doing. Help your people understand so that they are clear in their expectations and their hopes for themselves. They have a better understanding of what success looks like. And most important, last piece I want to close on is that we're humans. In my opinion, we all need support and accountability to show up to our dreams. So how can you, for yourself, reach up into a community or a friend, whether they're in Young Living or not, and ask for some accountability, some support, right? And how can you lean more fully into the support that's here? We have a lot of circles of support, so that you're swept into a group of people who, just like you, want to change their lives, who, just like you, want to have a bigger impact in the world. Allow yourself to be supported, and as a leader, be ever practicing, how can I show up better to myself and the people that I love? Thank you so much for your time this morning. I hope this was of great value to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And if you enjoyed this video, please do share it with your friends. And wishing you a happy snow day and a beautiful Tuesday. Thank you all.